Yeah, it's really not. I honestly think he just needs to grow a pair.
How
Quite
it do,
literally.
how it be, how it is, everybody. Welcome in and welcome back. Last we left off, the party is desperately trying to save Lady Kathleen in a very brutal fight. In our introductions today, let's go ahead and say what our HP is at, gang. But a couple of announcements first. We are in Bayonet. This is the homebrew version of Ravenloft that I built up, and it's not, it doesn't cap at like level 11. We're gonna be having all sorts of problems and terrifying things in this asymmetric mirroring landscape of a world of a demiplane. I'm SirFeffers, the humble dungeon master of the long shot table. If you want to get caught up on these campaigns, of which there are 3 weekly streamed, you can head over to the YouTube and of course head over to the Discord for bingo and a phenomenal community that is both wholesome and chaotic. We have an amazing sponsor for this channel, and that is Modern Artifice. Go and use the code LONGSHOT for 10% off of artisanal dice. Giuseppe is phenomenal and does amazing work. We are currently cooking a long shot dice set. I'm very excited about that. More to come. And the website where you can buy said dice you'll find in the Zoom chat and the Twitch chat, and goodness gracious, that messed me up. Oh no. And feel free to head over there. It will be restocked very soon, but there's still some amazing stuff there available. Offbeat, tell me about the businessman.
The businessman specifically? Well, the businessman, he's an insurance salesman, but he's in the business of necromancy. He shows up late, or maybe a little bit right before you die. You better get some money for your troubles. You're gonna die anyway, doesn't matter to me. But the businessman right now is feeling very good about himself. He is currently blasting the shit out of these hellhounds. He's running low on spell slots, I will say. He's been using them up to help finish this fight. He's still got some left, but he's gonna have to start being a little bit more cautious until we find a chance to rest up again. She is sitting pretty at 62 out of 72 hit points.
Okay.
So I ain't complaining.
Okay.
Passing it to Azalea.
Tell us about you first as well, please.
Oh, my apologies. I am Offbeat Outlaw. You can find me on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch under that exact same name, Offbeat Outlaw, that is. I make Dungeons & Dragons optimization videos as well as other things that interest me in the moment. I'm like a cat, and there's a laser pointer in front of me. If you want to see, I've got a video coming soon. First of all, on my thoughts on the new PHP. So if you're interested in that, on what an optimization first person's opinion is, that's going to be coming out. I know I said it would come out this week, but then it didn't. So it's coming out next week. And then I also recently filmed on my Twitch a video of what I think is currently the strongest build in D&D for level 20s with the new PHP stuff only. So trying to avoid using the old prints of things. I did use the old Bladesinger though. I'm sorry. It's technically more damage with the evocation stuff, but Bladesinger's just so nice. Anyway, now I will pass it to Azalea.
Hi, I'm Drak or Drakoniques. You can find me on all socials at Drakoniques. That's DRAKONIQES. I do everything TTRPG related. So perform, produce, write, anything, that kind of stuff. I'm doing or will be doing. And I'm playing Azalea, who is a great old one warlock, using the 2024 version of it. And they're currently slowly, thanks to the businessman, falling off the side of a cliff with Lady Kathleen. And right now, I'm 45 out of 103.
I will say that because of me, is a little twisting the truth. Kathleen was me. You leapt. I'm just saying.
I leapt. Oh no, I 100% leapt.
I'm just saying it's dubious liability here. Okay.
I leapt for Kathleen because the businessman blew up this hellhound and it knocked Kathleen out.
Okay. Okay.
Which brings us to the phenomenal SmolbirdLex.
Hello, I'm SmolbirdLex. You can find me at SmolbirdLex. I do art, TTRPG, streaming, and VTubing. When I'm done from my medical hiatus, it is over for you bitches. I am in your walls. I am playing Ilia Lacrima. if you guys haven't noticed by now, my stuff is either named after bones or poisonous plants. Try to figure out what bones she's named after. She is chilling at a 71 out of 73. She's not even breaking a sweat. She's chilling, you know, just a little. No worries. So she's chilling. She had a moonbeam up. She's just away from the damage right now. She's like, all right, this is fine. I can just be over here. Lacrima is a Void Cleric. This is the first time I'm playing a Cleric, but I just want... And of course, like, first time playing a Cleric and it's not like a regular Cleric. It's like, no, this one like looks like she's probably from the depths of hell or something. No, it's fine. Really, it's cool. But yeah, I'll pass it back over to Feb.
Excellent. Well, Woe and Oed holds many things for this party. For starters, the party is desperately trying to get back to the city of Rillis. And as they were journeying on, being very stealthy, this baleful wraith managed to spot them and directed some forces to go and try to kill them. The party has dealt with a majority of the forces. The commander is still up in the sky floating around. There's still a hellhound left, which we found out they detonate when they die. Throwing Lady Kathleen over the side as Azalea dives over to catch up with them, and I believe it was the businessman cast Featherfall on the both of them. Let's pick up. We're gonna roll a new initiative because I don't have the old initiative.
I am now fully, by the way, in the new PHB for my wizard.
Oh, okay.
I rolled a 3.
I also rolled a 3.
Ha!
I rolled a 17 plus 7 for a 24.
24. All right. On business.
Damn, I'm business.
I also rolled a 3.
Oh no.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, what are the odds? That's like that's a fun little thing. You guys got the 1 in 20.
Oh my god, whose angel numbers are 333? You're gonna have such a good day.
Exactly.
Who's got the higher dex?
I'm only a +1 for dex, so
Plus
probably
1.
not.
Yeah, +1 for Dex as well.
Rollies.
Rollies!
The baleful void does have you guys beat on
I
dex with
rolled a
+2.
6.
A
This
six.
So it's
dice-
rolling a flat D20.
Okay, let's go.
You're
Hey,
good.
cool,
I got
I
rolled
rolled-
a 6.
I rolled an 8.
Yeah. Wow! Just over.
Just barely
Damn.
over.
This dice does not like me today.
Well, we're just
fine.
getting into it. Maybe it'll come around.
Get the bad rolls out early.
Could I get the initiatives of the rest of our allies as well?
Yes,
Perhaps?
thank you.
Because I have this alert initiative swap feature that I want to see if I want to use.
Okay. Cameron gets a 14.
Okay.
Atticus gets a 10.
Nice.
And Lady Kathleen gets a 6.
The answer is no.
Okay. Businessman, you're up first. You can see the hellhound is about 10 feet from you, and its long parting mouth going all the way to the back. I say dog. It technically has the form of a dog, but that's no dog. That's some kind of fucked up demon thing that has been forced into the shape of a dog, and it peels its face back and Azalea and Lady Kathleen have just gone over the cliff. You can see Cameron and Atticus and Elia all kind of looking around, shocked.
Don't mind them. Focus on what's in front of you. With my stuff still up, I'm going with, in the interest of ending the fight as quickly as possible, so that our utility casters can have more fun. I'm going to blast this motherfucker again.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk up to the dog. I'm going to with my conjure minor elementals. All these little skeletons. They're going to. I know fire damage doesn't work on it as well, so I'm going to once again with cold damage. The skeletons are going to pull out these scythes. They're going to lift them to the sky and start screaming as I charge up the scorching rays. 5 d20s.
Rattling their bones viciously.
Okay, that's going to be a 21 to hit.
20 minutes.
Sounds like the
23.
intro to spooky, scary
Ooh,
skeletons.
28.
28, 23, they both hit.
17.
17 just hits.
Nice. And an 18. Excellent. All 5 shots hit. I will give you your fire damage first. 2, 6, 10. Please add on 37 fire damage.
Okay, halved.
And for your cold damage, we do 48 per hit, so that's going to be 20 d8s.
Good God.
Is that how that works? Yes, that's math. Yeah. There we go. There's going to be 86 cold damage.
Okay, and how close are you?
I am. The aura emanates out from me 15 feet, so I will be as far away as I can be to still have it in the aura.
So
that's 10 feet?
15 feet? Oh, okay, 10 feet.
Wait, let me see. Look.
Oh, I see. You're at the center of 15 feet.
Yeah. I would have to be 10 feet away from it, technically.
Okay.
So if it's 10-foot blast or whatever, then I would be out. But if it's a 15-foot blast, I am hit.
It is a 20-foot blast, and you and Cameron need to make a dex save.
Okay.
Oh no, Cameron.
That is a 19.
Okay.
No, Cameron.
Okay. 19 saves. You're gonna take half damage. And you were not thrown. Cameron, who had come up to the side and was trying to chop down on him with a battle axe, is going to smash into the cliff face next to him that his back was towards. And you are going to take 31, half of 31 fire damage, force damage.
15. I heal 10 as my skeletons begin to disassemble the body rapidly, and its ghostly essence, I just breathe it in.
Okay.
So I will take only 3 damage total from that.
Okay. Is that your turn?
Bonus action. Sam Grimm! Give him hell! Did they reprint the skeletons in the new books in the basic rules at the back of it?
I don't know.
Then I know I should something. Forgot to check this before. 4, 8, Badger, Frog, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P.
What's great about this campaign is that Elden Ring music fits perfectly.
Skeleton! Skeleton warriors! They are the exact same. They've always been. Oh, skeleton. Oh, captain, my goat, my king. Sam Grimm putting in the work again. That is a 26 to hit.
26. And this is the, like, ornate one that you found, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Eat
Who's
that.
it hitting? Wait. What's left?
Oh, that's true. Right. I thought
The hound
I was just
exploded.
going with that. That's a good point. What is left?
What's left is a individual that is, like, shadowy and smoky up in the sky.
Oh.
The one that hasn't been attacking us, but kind of
It
been
hasn't.
pointing.
Has
Has
just
it
kind of been
made-
watching.
Oh yeah, it's true. In that case, I won't do anything. I'm gonna wait and see what it does.
Okay.
I'll use my bonus action to command my skeleton. Halt! Unless it comes closer, then shoot it out of the sky. Pass.
Okay. Cameron is going to, like, pick himself up from the floor. He just went bam, onto the ground, and he's just like, ooh, right. What's next? And he's looking up at it, and he looks at his battle axe, looks up at it. Oh, I can't reach that.
Oh no, we'll wait and see what it does.
All right. And he's gonna hold his action and get up to the side of the cliff and look down to see if he can help at all. Let's go to Atticus, who has the iron flask with the one wraith in it, and he's gonna be like, wizard, hold this. Keep it safe. Don't let it out. Don't uncork it.
I have an iron flask now? Hell yeah.
He goes, well, hang on.
That's in my pocket.
Oh. This might have been a mistake.
Your life is precious.
He is then going to move to the side, and he's going to start working on some stuff. He's going to get an AoE heal going from his goodness. He's got a little like bot that he puts down, and it's going to heal everyone around him at the beginning of their turn. Okay. Lady Kathleen, who is falling down gently through the air, is going to grab onto Azalea. I'm not used to the names cycling through. I'm used to just looking, and that's the word to use. Latch onto Azalea, and you can see that she's terrified, and she's like holding tightly onto you, and you feel it's almost painful. And that's gonna bring us to Azalea.
Azalea will kind of put a hand, an arm around them, just be like, "It's okay, I've got you." And as we're falling, I'm gonna cast Dimension Door. As you see, the shadow I'm casting down the ground below us almost rise up. There's some invisible plane that it's being cast up against, and as we kind of set our foot down on the shadow, our feet sink through it, and as we reappear up,
very cool,
on the other side of the I think back up on the ledge that we were before.
Okay. You get 11 temp HP.
Okay, thank you.
From Atticus.
And I think that'll be my turn.
Okay.
I'm watching. Actually, as a bonus action, I will move my hex over to that being, that creature that's watching
What's
us.
the range on your hex?
I don't know if it's close enough actually. 90 feet.
90 feet? It is too far away.
Okay, cool. I won't do that then.
Okay. It's hundreds
yeah,
of
that'd
feet
be my
in
turn.
the air.
Yeah. That'd be my turn then.
Okay. Ilya, say hello to 8 temp HP. Ilya, you get 8
temp HP.
Yes, temp HP.
Oh, okay, my bad. Okay.
Ilya, your turn starts there. A little bit of health gets put into life as this tiny little not quite drone, but this almost BB-8 soccer ball looking thing kind of rolling around a little bit. Puts out healing. Lexi, it is your turn.
Nuh-uh. So there's nothing immediately around us right now. You said
No, there's only the
Offbeat
thing
up
up
and
in the
down.
sky.
Elia's gonna take her hat off, and as she does, the moonbeam seems to almost get pulled into it like a black hole, as she essentially just turns it off. Just
Okay.
puts her hat back on.
Cool.
Like, all right, that's too far for a moonbeam. There's nothing else like in immediate vicinity to fight.
No, that's the issue.
Damn. All right. Who is right next to me?
Right next to you, I believe, would be Atticus Match. As far as the players go, it would be Businessman.
Like within 60 feet ish.
Oh yeah, everybody's within. All the allies are within 60 feet.
Healing word.
Ooh. All right, who's it going to?
Whoever player-wise is the absolute closest, just whoever's like within the vicinity. So if it ends up being Businessman,
I think that's Businessman.
she didn't choose him specifically. It's just that he was close, and suddenly Businessman will feel like a very familiar, like glitter on his skin almost.
Okay, interesting.
And that
How much
is-
healing?
About to find out. Lots of ones. 27.
Okay,
I'm full up.
we're going to step out of combat for a second here. And as Lady Kathleen reasserts the revivification of the investiture in the ground, you watch Azalea as everyone disappears once again. But you are still there. And this wraith, this shadowy entity, maybe 300, 400 feet up into the sky, is just kind of watching. It's clearly seen that there's other members as well that are invisible. And it seems to roil with anger. You can see two pale white sockets where the pale glow of the eyes.
Azalea will keep eye contact with it as they begin to walk forward towards the direction that they know Rillis, or at least a part of Rillis is. And as I do, you'll see the two red gems on my metallic choker glow for a moment and fade as I use an action to regain one spell slot with my Pactical Rod, Rod of the Pact Keeper.
Okay.
It's just watching us.
Just keep walking. Just stay behind me. Keep a 20-foot distance between me and you, but just follow.
It's gonna send more. Right?
Okay, and what do you want to do about it now?
Well, I'm not much of a thinker. I'm not much of a plans man myself.
Then follow my plan, which is stay 20 feet behind me as I lead you back to Rillis.
The party starts making a nervous walk, a nervous trek, and the roiling entity continues to kind of move along, trying to keep you in its sights.
Azalea,
Yes?
I can make you disappear, if that will help.
Honestly, that would be very helpful right now, I think.
Azalea with Elia, without like turning away from it, puts a hand like on Azalea's chest, and a small black hole proceeds to like expand over him, and as the black hole expands past his outline, he just vanishes as I cast Greater Invisibility.
Interesting. At the sight of a black hole, this wraith is going to like be taken aback. Now-
Seems to not like your symbols, Ilya.
Good.
It is going to begin dispersing itself, kind of spreading itself out a bit, and you watch as this smoke just kind of fills the interim a bit. Let's get a stealth check from the party.
We are currently invisible, so we have advantage.
Yes.
Is our druid also? Our druid is also not passed without tracing, though. Big Sag.
No, it seems like they're concentrating on... I don't think so they have access to their spells
Pass without
right
trace is not concentration, but yes, does not have access to her spells right now.
It was eroded to be concentration.
I got a dirty 20.
I mean, that's fair. Dirty 20, let's go. Pass without trace.
Gotta
It
have
makes sense that it's
advantage.
concentration. I was always so happy that it wasn't.
I got
Damn.
a 15.
I got 6.
6 with
advantage?
advantage?
Yeah,
Oh, no.
it bounced off the nat 20.
Okay. Well, a bit of time passes. What does the 6 look like, Drakoniques? What kind of burr finds its way into your plans?
I think I'm just tired. I do these missions often, but usually to collect 1, maybe 2 at most people from danger, and wrangling 2 people at most is pretty easy. And on top of that, I don't come across these kind of creatures most of
Right.
the time on my journeys. That's not to say I don't come across creatures, but these are strange and they're in this world, so I can't even say otherworldly, but rare at the very least to come across.
It goes from the horrors that you can find out here versus things that were sent here
Yes.
by the sovereign.
This feels more like feels more like I'm actively running from the sovereign than sneaking by them.
Yeah, which has its own horror in its own way. That's a new stakes
Yeah.
for you. As
So
you guys
I think
are
it's just over the journey. It's just I'm tired. I'm
getting tired,
not
more and
watching
more
as much as I should.
fatigued.
Yeah.
You come to this winding upward kind of goat trail. On one side is these pockmarked cliffs with various little holes and the like. And because you're so tired, you kind of led them in a direction that isn't your normal route. And so you're not sure what's up with this cliff face here. You could go back, but you do believe that if you were to pursue this way, you might have discovered a shortcut towards the village at the base of the ancient city, or you've got other options as well.
I think if I reach a point where I start to realize that I'm not recognizing the route, and I know I can go back to the original one. If I do go back, do I know how long it would take to get back onto?
You would make
route
a
that
survival
recognizes?
check.
Okay. Can I do that then before I
Yes,
make my
absolutely.
decision?
Absolutely. You start navigating your way back to the route that you normally take.
18.
18. Okay, so you believe you can backtrack. Here's the risk. If you're discovered, your route might start to get pieced together. If you're discovered.
So what's the issue here?
You can continue on this new route that's dangerous and unknown, or because he successfully rolled survival, they could backtrack. The risk being, if you're caught, the route that Azalea always uses to these areas might get discovered.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
I think I will backtrack.
Okay.
I'd rather, especially now with how exhausted I am, I'd rather work with what I know than work with what I don't.
That's wise. That's wise.
Businessman, when you start turning around, I'm gonna be like, is there an issue?
Sorry, we took the wrong turn going up a route that I
See.
don't know, and I don't want to risk bringing you down something I'm not entirely sure of.
That is wise. Do we need perhaps a diversion to lead them astray? Go running back risks finding trouble.
Well, that depends on what you're leading astray. We don't know what is following us at this point, if anything is.
Sam, come forward. If you were to go this path, Azalea, where would you go?
I'll give like the kind of vague directions that I think would lead to
Sure.
somewhere, some settlement.
Take the safest route, Sam. And here's a letter. I'm gonna take out my custom, what's it called? What is it? Stationery. And I'm gonna write down, hello, this is an envoy from the businessman. I have acquired a skeleton from the Grimhold faction. He is delivering if you have found him, please place him in the ground until further notice. He will happily oblige.
Plant him. And would you name him again? I should write this down.
Sam Grimm.
Okay.
And he has a name tag that is stickied. That is a sticker on his chest. It is attached.
Excellent. Okay.
All right, Sam.
Gets down, starts lurching, just kind of moving in that direction.
Well, hopefully they will follow it if we need it.
Okay, let's hope so. But this way, and I'll backtrack, lead everyone back onto the known path.
Okay. No one attacks you. You are not behest. You are not set upon. And you're, you know, maybe in the case of Cameron's guard kind of dips a little bit. But he's still very, you know, everyone's talking in hushed whispers and stuff like that. A good 6 hours passed. And you start to hear here and there the screams of other people being found. You think maybe you've gotten away, but you can't know for sure.
Is this is a strange occurrence, right?
Yes, it is not
Okay,
usual that
that's what I'm
forces
sure,
of the sovereign are unleashed.
Okay.
Normally, this land, Woan takes care of invaders just by its dangerous nature.
All of you really have riled up the sovereign.
I can tell that much.
I
If it's any consolation, I don't think it was their intention.
No, it's not any consolation.
I'm sorry. What is the sovereign?
The sovereign is the sovereign. The ruler, tyrannical, as you can probably assume. Ruler of Woe and Oed.
It's not following any rules. It ripped the nervous system out of Lord Ruslow. Sorry, my lady. That's insane.
Yes.
First time.
Be rude to them.
Let us, says Lady Kathleen, let us rest, please.
Are we tired?
I think that would be good.
All right, I'll set up our safety home. I'm gonna begin drawing, taking out my stationery again. I'm gonna begin drawing the Liamon's tiny hut ritual.
Okay.
I will just do a sweep of the perimeter, just look around, make sure there's no people or creatures nearby that we need to worry about.
Roll perception
Well,
or
just-
investigation. Sorry, Lexi?
I was gonna say, do you want to stay invisible on your travels, Azalea?
Honestly, that'd be wonderful if that's within your
We'll leave it
capacity.
then.
Thank
It
you.
says until the spell ends, and it doesn't say like damage or anything. It just says till it ends. So I guess it's just until she feels like stopping concentration. I guess.
Whoa.
What's this? Is this a class feature or a spell?
I'll read it again just in case I just read it wrong. But let me see. Creature you touch has the invisible condition until the spell ends. That's it.
But like, what is this feature or spell?
Just greater invisibility.
Oh, wait.
You have greater invisibility. That's so metal.
Yeah, he's just invisible until I say so. It says up to a minute, obviously, but like, you know.
Oh, okay. So you have a minute of invisibility.
So
Gotcha.
just
Okay. Azalea, roll perception or investigation.
I'll go perception.
Okay, so you start looking around. You get to a couple of points, and you find a glade, a small like patch of grass, and you find a cave, naturally formed. What else did you
I
get?
rolled a dirty 20.
Okay.
ooh,
On a dirty 20, you find you're a little bit away. You're still within shouting distance, which is risky. But you're still within shouting distance of the party. You find in this glade a small pond, which seems to be rippling all on its own. It seems to have some source of ripple to it.
I'll get, if I don't see anything or anyone around it, I'll get closer to take a better look at it.
As you get closer, you start moving to the side and you realize that there is a camouflaged large entity that is lapping at the water. And it's got one eye. It's kind of like, it almost looks like the form of a bear, but it's made of stone, seemingly. And it's huge. It is massive. And once you've moved to the side to get kind of that actual perspective, because it was camouflaged to the direction it was looking in, you realize it's kind of had to like bend a few trees to get to this water source, and it's just lapping up the water. The one kind of stony like statue eyeball, kind of just looking around, just kind of scanning. And as you kind of keep moving, you see a window in like behind the shoulder of this creature, and there's just a faint glow from within.
Like an actual window, like
An actual window built into this stony
man-made-
bear.
Okay. Okay. And do I know what this creature is, or what this statue is
Make
resembling?
a history check. Not off the top, but you start racking your brain.
A 15.
15. This might be the residency of someone powerful. You wouldn't know who, but it's not unheard of for very powerful, magically inclined individuals to have, like a house with chicken legs that kind of moves around.
Yeah.
For example, this smacks of a witch.
Okay. I guess, what is my experience with witches? Do I know? Is there stories of, are these like feared beings?
It varies. It varies.
Varies, okay.
Generally, they can be helpful, but they're very tricksy. If they don't like you, they can make your life a living hell with curses and the like. But they've been known to be helpful at times.
I think upon seeing that, they won't, I think, disturb this creature or the witch that may or may not be living in it, or like make a mental note that this is here. And I think actually reach down and place a hand on the ground.
You don't have much time before your invisibility is up.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna let my invisibility run out
Okay.
and put my hands up as a sign of I don't mean any harm or threat.
As the stony eye moves over to look at you.
I don't mean any harm. Didn't realize you or your own was here.
Who's there, Biggie?
And a old wizened man. You see the hands, like long fingers grab the side of the windowsill and kind of.
Oh, it's a fancy one. Hello, fancy pants.
Hello. Sorry, didn't mean to intrude. We're just skipping the era while I rest.
Well, if you have no ill intent, so you say. I will continue resupplying my water supplies.
Would you
I'm
mind if
Hatch.
we... Oh, Hatch. Well, it's a
Old
pleasure to meet
man
you, Hatch.
They call me
You can call me Az.
as. Well. Hello.
Hello.
It's a dangerous
I
time to be
did
about.
notice the glade. Do you mind if I refill my water skin?
Not at all.
Thank you. And I'll very slowly and tentatively walk towards the glade. I think keeping the water between me and the witch, and will dip my water skin into the water.
Now, he hasn't given us any ill intent yet. There's interesting
mentioned-
people about, you know.
I feel like that might be an understatement, though. I wouldn't be surprised if you've met even more interesting people.
Yes,
than that.
goodness, I've found less polite people. One in particular. Mm.
Anyone that we should keep an eye out for?
You should keep an eye out for everyone. Trust
Okay.
no one. The more paranoid you are, the longer you live. As he kind of disappears into the darkness of his window. You start hearing like just the most insane, just the most like no music theory at all, just someone going ballistic on a harmonica.
Okay.
Not particularly loud, just it's erratic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Azalea would just. I think the moment they kind of poke their head back in, they'll just be like, "Okay, that's the end of that conversation." And we'll go just finish filling up their water skin before giving the creature a little wave and beginning to turn back to the rest of the group.
As you're leaving, you hear the music stop. What's your passive? Your passive is
14.
14. You hear,
Is he gone? Okay, we'll keep an eye out.
you return to the party. You think you can't see anyone. The party watches Azalea return.
See the magical force.
I see
running
the-
around.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
thank you. My
And little
apologies.
skeleton butlers running around the outside.
Oh, my favorite sandwiches again.
They're my favorite too. You don't own a sandwich. You're
Last
not the
I
Earl
checked,
of
they weren't
Sandwich.
your favorite last time at the party, so don't know when this started.
Well, I need to be accommodating, and since we make up, well, Pierce is catatonic, but we make up at least a good. Sorry, I don't count you, Cameron, but a good third of the portion here.
Hey,
What?
I matter. I have feelings and opinions.
You owe us. We saved your life.
I know. I tanked plenty of damage. Thank you.
Yes, because the most important thing in a fight is how many times you get shanked in your ass.
He goes, I'm
don't
not
worry,
fancy, okay? I don't have your fun magical bits.
so
I've got
right,
this.
next time-
And he shakes his axe.
And next time I need a brick wall, I'll be sure to ask you to fill it up for me.
Good.
Why are you so mean to the marshals?
Well, then they should. I'm not mean to them. It's not my fault they don't provide anything for me.
Just smacks him in the back of the head.
I think this is when Azalea walks in and goes, "What's wrong with marshals?"
Exactly, thank you.
The fact that they die and then blame me.
Atticus,
blame you for the
Atticus
aftermath.
Match chuckles at that, and then Lady Kathleen goes,
Listen, one of my closest friends is a marshal, and she's the most phenomenal person I've ever met.
I'm
Oh,
sure
what
she-
was her name?
"Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, no."
I'm sure she was lovely.
Who was she?
Her name's Nerium. She's great.
Oh.
She's close with the Void Father in a way. Mostly his son.
You're talking about Miriam, the Miriam that I'm familiar with, and she's juiced up on so many roids. I'd be surprised if she wasn't used.
Excuse me, everything about her is natural. How dare you assume?
Oh, and that belt of storm giant strength she has wrapped around
Okay,
her.
it's still not
Ooh.
voids.
Okay. Magical steroids, then. I'll go and make sure. I'll go and put that in my little insurance plan that I don't insure against magical steroids from
I
now
would
on.
thank you to not give our artificer any fun new ideas.
I am going to be giving him fun new ideas because this iron flask he gave me is delightful.
Oh, you like it? Don't open it. She's in there.
I'm not going to open an iron flask. I
He
know
kind
at
of
least.
scooches over.
If you do open it, they will be our ally for 1 hour.
Good to know.
Perhaps we could get
Sounds
some
like-
information.
I think for an hour. We have an hour. We should release this in a safer location.
Hi, Azalea.
Hi. We're good for the most part. Nothing too dangerous around. There is a witch, not maybe 100 or so feet west, but I spoke to him and he seems fine as long as we don't do anything to disturb or show any ill intent. I don't think they will do anything to us.
All right. Easy enough.
Really bad at
Public-
playing the harmonica though.
Of all instruments.
Do you think he
Yeah,
made
it's,
this
it's one of the
himself?
things that actually was pulled into here. We didn't have harmonicas before,
Oh.
maybe 100 or so years ago. Yeah.
They were imported harmonicas and instruments.
I will say now that the party is a little bit has moved into a slightly different biome. You're in this kind of, again, this goat path kind of turning in by now into a normal dirt road. You're on the side of the dirt road by the side of a mountain, but on the other side of the road is the forests to the west. And this is probably the most normal thing you've seen yet. You can see birds, and you see squirrels and the like, and other bits of natural fauna, to somewhat natural flora. Slightly different types of trees, and these squirrels do look slightly different, but this is apparently not just gloom and doom here in this demiplane. While there is also a lot of fucked up gloom and doom, the fact that you can see squirrels belies that there is more to this land than the people who entered initially thought.
Dylan doesn't seem phased. He comes out often and sees this is just his home. So they'll take a seat and relax in this hut. But I think we'll keep an watch outwards, kind of look at this view.
Businessman is busy sipping water that he's flavored to be wine with prestidigitation. So this is where all of the livable lands are in this place.
Yeah. Yeah, no, a lot of it either we made ourselves, like realists, or well, no, we're just provided for the beings and creatures that resided there, like this.
It's starting to look more like a normal place.
Don't get too used to it.
Oh, I don't
But-
plan on it.
We have found there are some havens, some sanctuaries of what you might call normalcy. We call safety.
So, this overall plane, it is, I guess, ruled over by the sovereign in a tyrannical fashion. Going to war with it has been impossible, it seems. Force too immense.
Was that your goal, to go to war against the sovereign?
Oh no, once again, I showed up way too late to this party. My goal was to make 50,000 gold. And,
Is it
seemed...
worth it?
Well, I didn't know we were coming here. I thought it was a border dispute. You see, in the lands of the lands of where we come from, it's filled
Whistling.
with petty. We're in the lands of Whistling. It's filled with petty nobles who are very bored. You see, we've managed to make peace, and in that peace, nobles who are trying to make a name for themselves in the history books find themselves particularly bored. So they'll go and rile up a bunch of their soldiers and their men and whatever 16-year-old is stupid enough to sign up. And they'll send
Many
them
of
off to
those,
war at
sadly.
the borders to try and expand their reigns. Usually meeting with another noble who's trying to expand their reigns. Thought that's what was happening here. I know that it's a good place to make $50,000. Gold, anyway. Because you usually can convince some stupid noble, if they're stupid enough to try and make war and peace, they're stupid enough to sign up for my insurance plan, where I get to make 50,000 gold, and I get usually on the orders of about 1,000 skeletons. I then take my 1,000 skeletons back to my giant wizard spire, and I plan and plot and scheme to make more 50,000 golds.
Rolled my eyes any further, I'd see my own brain.
Just because I made a business out of death doesn't mean that you should be upset at me.
There shouldn't be a business in death.
Oh, really? And saving people is so much more noble. They have to keep living.
Yes! Most
How-
people prefer that to servitude as a zombie or a skeleton.
Okay, but what for the ones who don't? They just want to get on with it. They want to move on or whatever. I give them that. I get their body. Their family gets a small payout. They get some pennies for their troubles.
Anyways.
Azalea looks at Ilya and just goes, I don't like him.
We can agree on that.
He is simply a modern thinker, albeit a bit amoral.
We do not need that in Woe and Owen. And I turn to businessman. We do not need that in Woe and Owen.
Oh, but I think you'll find my services most attractive, as will many in Norman Owen. If death is as common as it seems, society's gonna have problems. Think about the skill drain. Think about all the people. Ilya, of course, will swoop in and save as many as they can. What about for the ones that don't get saved? Just bury them?
We've been doing that for centuries now. So yes.
And the Sovereign is still here, tyrannically ruling, making your lives living hell.
Businessman, are you implying that this insurance is going to overthrow the Sovereign?
I'm just saying, losing bodies is a more important thing than people think.
Azalea.
Skeletons can still do their jobs. They still somewhat even remember who they were. If you get a skilled doctor, a human can only live 80 or so years, and no magic we know of can extend their lifespans. But a skeleton lives forever.
Little happy
To
dance
the
from the
nurse
tiny
that
little
eyes at you.
skeletons. Jazz hands.
I'm just saying I think my services sound unattractive to many, and I understand. I'm not here to convince you of otherwise. I am here to simply convince you that I have a use and I have a purpose. I'll not interfere with your do-goodery.
You had me, and then you said the
You
thing I
had
was
me,
doing
but
was
you lost.
goodery, which implies that what you're doing is not. So you immediately lost me again.
Azalea,
I'm going to be dishonest. Many people don't like me.
Azalea just sighs.
Azalea, the held breath has secret knowledge. Knowledge that the Sovereign has tried to scour from the minds of the people. You know that there have been a few attempts at overthrowing the Sovereign, and every single one of them got absolutely wiped. And the people as a whole were punished severely.
Were they wiped by the Sovereign themselves, or by the kind of leaders that they've placed?
Not by the leaders that have been placed, but the leaders themselves were replaced as they get just as punished.
Yeah. Okay.
And sometimes it's the Sovereign themselves, other times it's their myriad of fucked up forces that they've brought to bear and keep in the pocket.
Well, even though you definitely backed away from it when I mentioned it, try not to say anything that could imply that you could or would overthrow the Sovereign, at least not around others.
That's fair. I'm just thinking that there's such a good opportunity here. Smell it, can't you? You can smell how Sovereign rules by murder. You currently have 2 people who make use out of the dead. There's a way to change things, isn't there? If death didn't matter so much.
This is above my position. So let's not talk about this any further.
A bit of a different topic. The Sovereign, says Lady Kathleen, thanked us before it all went horrible. Thanked us for bringing them souls.
out of the dead.
Just not the flesh.
Dabbled in necromancy of ghosts before. I keep one on standby. Not really my purview. I'd prefer skeletons. But if they are in fact a spectral necromancer of sorts, as might be the smell of things, then explains why they're so intent on killing all who enter. Is that the MO? Right, Azalea?
Seems to be most of the time. It's my job and some of my people's job to get to people who get here before they can. I'll be honest, our track record isn't great, especially when the Sovereign themselves is involved.
Which is not always. Which implies the Sovereign doesn't necessarily always know when a new soul enters the pain, this demi-pain. But if enough souls, that did seem to immediately bring the ire of the Sovereign. Let's take a break. We'll be back. And we're back. The party manages to get themselves a long rest. We do have to take watches, though. And if something particularly heinous happens, then we'll see from there. But who's taking first watch?
I'll take first watch again. Again, I'm an elf, so I only need to sleep for 4 hours. So I take the first with the longest stretch of darkness.
Yeah, we go from like a perpetual dusk to like a perpetual what's the dawn version of dusk? What is that called? Twilight? And then kind of dips down into darkness in between.
Yeah.
Silver hour versus golden hour.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Is silver hour a thing, or did you just make that up?
No, it's for, you know, golden hour at night, right before the sun sets and everything's orange. Silver hour is the opposite, right before the sun comes up and everything has like that overcast look on it. Yeah.
I learned something new today.
Yeah. Big
I'm
big
gonna
for photography
change the
buffs.
name of the episode to Silver Hour. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Big for photography people. I had to do a shoot at silver hour once. Fucking sucked.
I bet.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Wayne words,
What,
wax
just the
words,
lighting?
golden and silver hours. Draconic, go ahead and make a perception check for me as you take the first watch.
23. I got a 19 on
God.
the die. Very close on that 20.
Okay. Nothing too much happens during your watch. At one point, there is like this little like kind of a little raccoon kind of a thing. It's not quite a raccoon. It's native to this land. It's a little different, but it's got the same grippies and it's got the same trash panda energy as it kind of scuttles out onto the dirt road, sniffing around, smells you guys, doesn't see you guys.
I'll bring out like some rations and kind of see if I can coax it over.
Okay, roll animal handling.
Okay.
Or you would have to step out of the bubble.
18.
18. Okay.
So no modifier.
This
I would plus 0.
raccoon kind of.
Here you go, buddy.
And it has kind of a little frog tongue. And then starts eating.
I just kind of, I'm like legs crossed outside of this hut watching out and just watch it for a moment before going back to my surveying of the area.
It kind of digs a little bit of a hole near where you were standing. Just a little dent in the ground, and then scampers away.
Do I know what that, not what that means, but do I know what that behavior is?
Nah, that's unusual to you.
Okay.
Normally, if they dig a hole, they're gonna poop in it and bury it, or do something, you know, do anything to it. But they just built a little hole and left.
Zillow just kind of tilt their head, but they're no they're not animal experts, so not going to think too deeply about it.
Sure.
But yeah, they'll go back to keeping a watch.
Your 4 hours are up.
I think again I'll go wake up Ilya. Ilya seems to have pretty good dark vision, so for the darker parts of the day,
Honk
I'll
shoe.
wake up Ilya.
Okay.
Huh.
Hey Ilya,
Yes,
you want to take the next watch?
of course. As she gets up, she intentionally like nudges the businessman awake. Just
This is my turn.
no. What are you doing?
Why are you touching me?
I wasn't. Just goes to the front.
Zen just shakes their head as they take their corner of the hut.
Okay. Lexi, roll a perception check as the night progresses.
Perception.
Plus 5. Dirty 20. Nice.
Dirty 20. Okay.
I rolled a 15. A +5.
Are you outside or inside the bubble?
She'll probably poke her head right outside
Okay.
and kind of just monitor for a bit with her 360 dark vision to kind of just
Sure.
see if anything is right in that 360 that she can see, and then kind of like pop back.
Okay. You kind of keep popping your head out, and for mechanical states and purposes, you can't really do that. So I'll say that mechanically you would have had to step out the bubble, but we can
Okay.
skin it as like you just kind of like look around
Yeah.
a bit, leaving the bubble before popping back in. One of the times when you're in the bubble, you can still see out of the bubble relatively well, just not as well. You see a traveler. He's got a mule with him, and he's got a walking stick.
Jesus.
No.
No.
we
Yeah,
don't.
you know, Jesus of Nazareth was one of the first people to end up.
The Jesus.
He wasn't accepted in his hometown. You know, he had to.
There was some big old thing apparently.
It was this whole thing.
Crucifixion? I don't know.
They knew too
Seems
much. Yeah, an old man, just kind of walking along this dirt road. There is a bit of a magical shimmer to the mule, but that's about it. He's old. He's kind of just walking along, and he sees the bubble, and he's gonna pull up. You're in the bubble, so he doesn't see you. He can't see into the bubble, but he's just gonna like look at it. Look at the mule. Look back at it. The mule looks at him. Looks back at it. And he's gonna grab just a little rock, just a tiny little rock, and just kind of. He's about 40 feet away. He misses. Grabs another rock. Grabs the mule, kind of gets close to the mule, and slowly starts shimmying past, kind of across the road while looking at it. And the mule like is just stepping nervously. And if you don't intervene at all, he's going to be upon his way and scurry away.
She'll probably pop out after he does the second one.
Oh, God.
It's like,
I don't want any trouble.
I don't either.
Okay. Hi. Greetings.
Just gonna check on you, see if there's anything you needed mending, or I saw you had like a bit of a limp. Didn't know if that was something I could help with.
I don't have much money. I have a little money, but
If you let me pet your mule, I'll fix your ailments.
that
Just gonna roll an insight check. Roll persuasion. Yeah, he has kind of a bound leg. What's a natural 20 on the insight check?
Just being honest.
Yeah. What's your persuasion?
My persuasion? -10.
10. Okay.
-1. I rolled an 11.
well, I think that would be wonderful if you're certain. Goodness.
He's gonna hand you a few sugar cubes to give to the mule.
Immediately just looking at him in like awe, eyeless eyes, just looking at this thing just in awe.
The mule. Gonna and the tongue that opens from the mouth is like this three-pronged thing, and is going to gently grab the cube individually. And as you're petting this thing, it's clearly not a mule, because your hands go kind of through the illusion that's on it. She's friendly. And you realize he's talking to the mule. She's friendly. She's very nice. You're very nice. You pet it. It's definitely got fur under there. At some point, you start finding some ridges of like maybe horn or antler, kind of along the spine.
She's going to just gently place a hand on his injured leg and cast Healing Word, and she whispers things that would sound like abyssal. Just some deep unknown language, and that will be lots of 116 HP. If it's an HP thing, otherwise just...
That's incredibly kind. Thank you. And he's gonna kind of like squat, stand back up, kind of stretch his legs. Oh, these old bones. Thank you kindly. What is your name?
Elia.
Elia. This is not a kind place. Make sure you hold on to that, yes?
Held on to it for a while. It's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Well, I'm a peddler, and my name is Bubbas.
Hi, Bubbas. Nice to meet you.
Well met. I
Good luck
can't.
on your journey.
I must repay you for your kindness. Healers are not common in this land. He's talking like he knows you're not from here, but he's also talking like he doesn't know about the goings-ons of recent events. Please take this as my thanks. And he's gonna hand you a small bottle, and inside the bottle, you can see like a rowboat.
Ooh.
I
did
found
this
it
yourself?
along the way. No, I am not arcanely trained. I'm a simple peddler, but yes, I traded it for some things along the way, and I don't personally ever have a need for it, so maybe you will. Thank you, Elia.
Please be safe out there. It seems to have gotten even worse than the normal goings-ons lately.
Really?
Stay close to the tree lines. Try not to be out in the open. Keep an eye on the sky.
I'll do that. Thank you.
Safe travels, my friend. Thank you. She goes back in the bubble and just disappears. Just gave this guy paranoia.
He heads on his way.
I pop the bottle on businessman. Just...
Keep waking me. To what end?
What is this?
It's a bottle with a boat in it. What do you want from me?
Does it do something? I was gifted this by a wandering peddler.
Yes, it holds a boat in it.
You're as useless as ever. Goes back to the front.
This clear glass bottle contains a tiny replica of a wooden rowboat down to the smallest detail, including 2 stout oars, a miniature coil of hempen rope, a fishing net, and a small cask. You can use an action to break the bottle, destroying the bottle and releasing its contents. The rowboat and all of the items emerge as a full-size, normal, and permanent items of their type, which includes 50 feet of hempen rope, a cask containing 20 gallons of fresh water, 2 oars, and a 12-foot-long rowboat.
If in emergency, break glass. The emergency, I guess, being if you need a boat in expedient time.
Well, now we have a boat. You're welcome. Goes back to the front.
Why am I holding on to this? I could. He's gonna put it. He'll put it away and sleep.
You notice that you do still have the iron flask on your person, and Atticus matches. Sleeping.
Well, I'm not gonna remind him I have that.
No, he knows. He made it. But okay. And is there anything else you would like to do, Ilya and or businessman? Now that you're awake.
Well, if that's the end of the shift, then it's my turn to wake up, I guess. This man will wake
She
up.
just keeps watching, and if anything else shows up, cool. If not, she goes to wake the businessman.
Okay.
You're up, buddy.
Oh, finally. I should have done this beforehand, but may as well now. I'm just gonna ritual cast alarm on the tiny hut,
Ooh.
and for a mental ping in my head if something approaches the
So,
hut.
if you're familiar with Ravenloft, you know that sometimes spells are different here.
Ooh.
And you cast alarm. It immediately goes off, and it startles you a little, as the ringing in your head immediately upon casting goes off.
Well, this is bloody useless now. Okay. Oh gosh, I gotta stay
Someone
up.
snuck in here.
Well, I guess I'll just wait. I'll have to look with my terrible eyesight. I'm gonna summon my familiar to aid me in
Okay.
my. I'm gonna send it to the sky and help me look around for anything.
Starts looking around. You would get your first glimpse of the city of Rillis. Two mountains on these asymmetrical facing landscapes meet. And where those two mountains meet, a massive city has been built on both sides, if that makes sense. So you got a massive pillar of a city. This city is bigger than any city you have ever seen. And you've been to Cairn, and you know that place is big. And you're like, oh yeah, that's the biggest city. That's the peak of, whatever. This place can hold many hundreds of thousands of people. And it looks abandoned. It's
gonna-
monstrous.
I'm gonna make a note of that and be like, I'm gonna talk to Azalea about that, because that seems wild that it looks that an empty city is here, more or less.
You could talk to Azalea about it now. They don't
not
sleep;
like-
they're in a trance, so
Oh,
they can
right,
still
right, right.
communicate.
True. I
Yeah.
thought you were Honk Shoe.
No, they're
Does this
cross
You look
legged
and
on
he's
the
kind of
ground.
meditating.
Yeah.
Because this man is going to sit beside him.
And I'll say
just-
for the conversation, I would also like to have Ilya in it as well. So you're starting to nod off when you hear this conversation pick up.
Okay. So, Azalea, we are not far off from Rillis now. I saw it with my familiar. That city is massive.
Yes, it was built long before even my time, but it's definitely a feat of engineering and architecture.
Indeed, it's bigger than any city where we're from. And they consider themselves the pinnacle of civilization. It's empty, though. Very empty.
Yeah, didn't I tell you? It can hold up to hundreds, maybe 100,000 people, but right now its population is maybe tens of thousands.
It's
Barely.
just- I guess it's just shocking to see an empty city.
Yeah. The people that are left behind, though, they're good.
I'm sure they're lovely and resilient. Is it empty because of recent events, or is it just not many have settled in?
I don't know.
Make a history check.
10.
10. It's common knowledge that that this used to be a thriving city, and the sovereign wiped them out to about 100, and they have since been repopulating.
It's not a recent event in all things considered, but it was once a thriving city. It almost had to be able to be built to that scale, but for whatever reason, the sovereign chose to cull the herd. It
Maybe
hasn't
one of
really
those-
gone beyond a few tens of thousands, as far as I know of since then.
I see. Well, growing to this much is definitely a feat in and of itself. Maybe
Also
one of those
realized this place.
resistances that you were speaking of that got quashed was brewing.
Yes, there. No one really resists the sovereign, not outright anymore.
Well, in horrible times, some say it is resistance to thrive.
You've mentioned, implied, that this trades you and you, as he turns to Ilya, work in could be helpful in maybe not resisting the sovereign, but at least living with the sovereign looming over us. Do you have any actual intent on helping us, or is this all for your 50,000 gold?
Well, I'm not getting paid anymore. My intention here, if to be upfront, because you have been honest with me, it is, of course, to become a substantial member of this city. I am enterprising, I am ambitious. I intend to do so by conscripting many skeletons from the decrepit, the dying, the dead, the soon-to-be dead, and those who wish to be dead. And perhaps a little grave robbery for those families that consent, and some that don't if the bodies are particularly nice. I intend to use this force, though. I need to live, and to live, I need to be able to be as grand as I would like. That means I can't have some nefarious evil ghost poking around my business. And if how I can help prevent this nefarious evil ghost from poking around my business is by providing as many skeletons to you all, helping it thrive, taking care of all those menial tasks that need to be done in a city. I'm sure the sanitation work is not exactly pleasant in a three-dimensional space, but it needs to be done. Nurses need to be there. The people that often society will look down upon, but still their jobs need to be done, don't they? I provide that, and it's how I have often provided it. However, I am aware, and how I acquire my bodies is not exactly moral. I take advantage of people that don't have many opportunities left, people that need something. It's a trade. I give their family a little bit of money, and I get their skeleton for servitude. And they feel better about it. And that is, in a word, evil.
Give it
But
to
I
you.
will
Most
help
of your
this city.
clientele at least are rich, so I'll give you that.
That is true. I'm not exactly always going to the paupers. My favorite clients are the rich and the dumb, because they're
think-
the ones who I can swindle with immortality.
You wonder how those favorite clientele are doing right now.
Oh, they're very upset. Their skeletons are running rampant. That being said, I will probably be viewed as a very bad person where I'm from, as all my skeletons by now are going rogue and terrorizing the countryside. So once I'm here, I need to stay here. But I will help you. Because your city needs people running it. And there's no better workforce than skeletons.
I'll turn to Ilya, I think, next. And you, do you intend on putting some kind of fight up against the sovereign, or do you just want to live grandly in Rilis?
Sadly, my contract with the businessman requires that it is a package deal. I am meant to take care and revive and do what I can, hopefully before him. Not sure how the laws of the land are here, but it's pretty binding where we come from. So, we are co-workers till the end.
like marriage or?
Unfortunately, more binding. The fact of the matter is, though, Ilya is of a helpful disposition to her fault. If you're looking for help, Ilya will provide it.
Thank
And
you.
by her fault, I mean our bank accounts.
Oh, I'm sorry you lose out on some money because I revived someone instead of
50,000
stupid dead
gold is
them.
not some money.
You've made it before.
Point being, we will help you, Azalea. If your ambition is to get your city running smoothly, it will run. If your ambition is to go against the Sovereign, well, that might be mine. Might be.
When we get to Rulis, I want to introduce you to some people.
Oh, I love people.
And I think I'll look to Ilya. I want to introduce you to some people.
I love people.
See, when you say it, it's much less unnerving.
Businessman,
No, he means it. He just loves them in a different way.
you
Yes,
feel a
no, that's why it's
strange-
more unnerving when he says it. Yeah.
You feel a strange movement from within your pack. And looking, you see the necromantic ink that you've managed to take is doing like a little venom, making a break for it real slow like.
I mage hand and grab it. You're not supposed to be alive. If you can move, you have conscience. Speak?
Not the shrug.
Can you understand me?
Wobbles.
Can you... Alright. What do you... I'm going to give it a... I'm going to dip a pen in it. I'm going to be like, write out what you were just about to do.
Does not seem capable of thought. It does seem a creature of instinct, much like an ooze, maybe?
Put it back in the jar. Stopper it tight. You're staying with me, little one.
Is there a spell to give something intelligence?
Yes, there is the awaken spell.
Truly the most horrible thing you can
Businessman.
do to an object.
Gifted sentience.
Are you gonna give the thing that already has some semblance of sentience intelligence enough to speak to you? Seems like you
Why
could
on
use
earth
more
would I do
friends.
that? As soon as you give something sentience, the government wants it to pay taxes.
You want everyone to pay you taxes.
Exactly, and then I'm gonna have to take him on my insurance plan, and he's already in my clutches. And they call me the evil one.
I will break every bone in your body slowly and laugh as you bleed out.
I think ahead. That's all I'm saying. And if you do that to me, I will be a beautiful skeleton.
Thank you for the raid, friendos. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well.
Either way, I'm not going to give it sentience. I will, however, uncover its secrets and maybe rid it of whatever semblance of movement it has left. Be far more useful that way. Goodness.
You're absolutely ridiculous.
Everyone gets a long rest.
Yay!
Yay. Oh, much better.
Mr. Azalea, our fantastical guide, you have a choice to make. The whole party, seemingly, can fly. So you can stick to your normal route and head to the city of Plea, or the village of Plea, which is at the top of the mountain at the base of the big city, and head homeward that way. Or you could fly into the dungeon, but you would be in unknown territory until you could find something you recognize.
Yeah. I think we've already come across this race-like being that very clearly can move and fly in the air, and if it's anything like the spellcasters I know, the moment whoever's casts fly on us gets hit particularly hard, we're all falling. So I think I'm gonna go with the known route, which is through the dungeons.
Okay. The village of Plea. As the party gears up and gets ready to go, Cameron doing a few push-ups. Got to get the pump in, you know. And Atticus seems to be tinkering with something. Lady Kathleen is looking at her hand with concern.
I'll settle up beside her. Everything okay?
I was listening to your conversation last night. My intention is to eventually leave this place. I'm aging. I haven't aged in a long, long time. And if I can get home with the death of my husband, there's quite a seat of power available to me. You must understand, the train of people that were coming into this plane is set to continue. There are many, many trains of provisions and cavalry and the like, all set to slowly enter this land. I think one of the reasons we've gotten away from where we've gotten away from is there's still more to kill back where we came in.
Your husband was a piece of work, it seems.
Well, I'm sorry to tell you this, but no one has ever left Woe and Owed. I'm almost certain there is no way to.
Almost certain is not certain. Where's the doubt coming from?
Well, my very basic knowledge of doors is if you're able to come in one way, you should be able to leave it as well, the other. And all of you slipped in here, so I see there might be a way to slip out, but...
Maybe there is a way out, but your tyrant ghost has squashed that information, scrubbed it clean.
There's so many beautiful secrets in this land. There must be libraries. Someone must have written it down.
We have been collecting information that the Sovereign might want hidden. We haven't found anything just yet, but a way to leave this plane has been one of the things I very specifically have been searching for and hunting. That's actually why I was in the area that you all showed up in the first place. I thought I had a lead, but didn't. It was a dead end. And then all of you appeared.
What was it you were looking for? If
Honestly,
it's okay to ask.
No, it's absolutely fine. I don't know. I think I still have it, the tablet that I was given. I'll pull that out and set it down. We just had some clues that pointed in the general direction that all of you were in. I was just settling in that abandoned town to get some rest, but just a bit further, there was meant to be some kind of clue, some kind of artifact, scroll, something that would give us something towards a clue of leaving this place. But
She looks to the tablet and then has a visceral reaction. She stands up and looks down at it. She goes, "That is heretical."
if you could expand on that, that would be perfect. You just called Warren Owed dead not long ago, so I need a bit more clarification on that.
Apologies. There is a language that the druids use. And we are all forbidden from writing it down. What you have there is druidic writing. I'm sorry, I maybe am applying the rules from where I am from. I apologize for having such a visceral reaction. It's just that is
fine.
not okay where I'm from.
What does it say?
You can read it, Azalea. Your people didn't know that this was druidic. This is because druids don't work here.
Yeah.
It simply is this story
of an individual known as Bowen Oed. And it's kind of in song format, kind of like an epic, maybe like one of those like the Epic of Gilgamesh, very old text. And your people, the Held Breath, was able to piece together that it's possible they found the resting place of this individual that the demiplane has been named after, or something. You're not sure.
The way you've kind of interpreted it differently amongst us, but I think the general consensus is that this is where Warren Owen, the person, this plane, is taking the name of, rests, and I at least hoped that there was some kind of clue or key to leaving this place resting with them, but like I said, a dead end.
Demiplanes and people. That sounds like either some fancy pants wizard stuff, or it sounds like a druid got themselves in some trouble. What if they turned themselves into the demiplane, or made it and simply died within it without an escape?
I apologize for reacting the way I did. I didn't. It was a shock.
It's fine.
And she's gonna look at the tablet again, and you watch her pupils kind of shake. Just in the adverse emotion. And she kind of reins herself in. Because she's not an asshole. She's not trying to like inflict her rules from her world on you. You know, she's trying to adjust, and is having some trouble reconciling with the bastardization in her mind of her people's language, of the Druidic language.
I think seeing how visual this reaction is, Azalea will take the tablet and hit it back.
Might I take one more look at that, please?
Says Atticus Matt.
Yeah, sure.
He kind of turns his back to Lady Catherine.
Might I study this?
On the way to Rillis, but once we're at Rillis, I will need it back.
Okay, thank you. I think there might be a code. Each of these strange filigree letters, these ones that are particularly ornate, seem to be scattered about, and I'll see if there's something hidden within the text, yes? It might be nothing.
Sure.
Okay.
I have my theory, but I don't think it's correct. I think that someone made this place and died here, and that they are the only ones who know the escape. And then because they were probably some sort of fancy pants druid, that's why she freaked out and thought the place was dead. Because in her eyes it is, but because he was some fancy pants major druid person, this place is still capable of progeniting life.
Could be someone, Marshall.
No, it couldn't.
It could.
Good.
No,
It's possible.
it literally isn't.
Oh.
Marshall could have been the brains behind the operation.
Fucking Arcadis. Yeah. I like you.
Yes, I'm sure you would like pandering. Either way.
Prestidigitation smacks him behind the head.
There's much to discover here. Isn't this exciting? We're hot on the precipice of a change.
Yes. There's much to do.
I think it would be interesting if you did meet the people I work with. They have a lot more information stored than I have on me right now.
Perhaps we can be of use to each other. More so than we already have been.
Obviously, we're going to need places to stay and live, but we would...
You don't need to worry about that. Like I said.
Fascinating. This place is absolutely fascinating.
Absolutely fascinating.
Keep that excitement. We need to go to the village of Plea.
Will do.
That's going to be our next stop. So.
Atticus is giving mad scientist energy right now as he's tenderly holding this tablet, and he starts he puts some paper, some parchment over it, and starts doing like an ingrained sketching, and then hands the tablet back to you and starts studying the paper itself.
will say, though, I do appreciate you gave the tablet back. Do not lose that either.
No,
If
I
that
no,
gets
never.
into the sovereign's hands, that could be bad as well.
Oh. Oh, okay. Okay. I'll do my best.
Ilya, if I'm correct, and it is in fact a dead druid, I call dibs on the bones.
If you get to it first.
I would give you the flesh, you can bring it back.
If this is a dead druid, none of you are touching the body.
Just
Okay, what if Ilya brings it back,
No.
I make a clone of it,
Nope.
and then I raise the bones?
No.
And the banter continues with a bit of a lighter air in comparison to the previous exchanges as the party continues winding up. You eventually find these stairs, these kind of stone stairs on the side of the path. And you can see a guard, a turtle, who's kind of in this kind of stone little tower bunker. And he stands next to the steps going up, and
Azalea, good to see that you are well.
It's good to see you too.
this is sorry, I already used that name. Bad Jeff. This is Joshua.
Joshua. It's good to see you too, Joshua. As you can see, I got some new otherworlders here, so just heading up to Rilis.
There's quite a bit of stir going on out there. You understand?
Yes, I will be honest, I was almost in the thick of it. I saw quite a bit of what was going on there. If you don't
The
mind,
sovereign made an appearance.
Or sorry, he wouldn't say the sovereign.
The specter made an appearance.
yes, they did. These lot very barely escaped.
There are wraiths about. It's
You
not
came
the
across one as well.
Grimhold, but it's something else. It's something I haven't seen wraiths about in a long, long time.
I saw a whole army appear.
What?
I think all of those bodies, those souls entering this plane, it definitely alerted the Spectre.
Make sure you tell the governor.
That's what I'll be doing first thing.
He'll want to know.
The governor of Plea is a harsh individual, and very much spends 110% of their energy to keep their people alive, but that has led to a lot of harsh decisions made. He is not, to your knowledge, under the thumb of the sovereign, because this tiny little village is relatively new, maybe 50 years young, and quite small. There's maybe 50 to 80 people here in the village of Plea, kind of under the radar of them, of the sovereign.
Well, you best get to climbing. Well
Will do.
met, the rest of you.
Wait, this is Joshua, by the way. Very hard worker. One of the guards of Plea.
I ring the bell if need to be.
thank
That
you.
this was a turtle?
Yes.
And you can see he's in like a stone, almost like standing coffin of a thing. It's just this kind of protective stone barrier, and there's like a slat that he's opened up, and you can see little Belle in there with him, and a small candle and a book.
I must say, I've always been most impressed by turtle shells. Very strong.
Let's
sturdy.
get moving. I was start moving, businessman. Don't be weird with Joshua. He's a good person.
What? I'm sure he's very valuable. You wouldn't want to lose him.
As the party begins ascending the steps, if you direct yourself to the Discord, you can see the beginnings of a dungeon crawl. This open expanse, this cavern, it'll be in the Discord soon. This expanse of a cavern has a relatively young-ish village within. You get to the grate that is at the bottom right of the map, and you can see a few guards kind of watching from behind the gate.
See this Azalea wave, very friendly.
The gate doesn't open. Normally it would. And one of the guards, an elf, kind of steps down and goes, "Hey, Azalea, who have you got there?"
We've got the businessman, Ilya, Lady Kathleen, Cameron. Sorry, whose was Atticus? Is it Atticus?
Atticus, yeah.
Atticus.
Yeah.
Atticus and Pierce. There's some other worlders that appeared not too long ago. I went to fetch them, bring them somewhere safe.
Well, you should know, with all the heat, with the Sovereign making an appearance out there, and the wraiths around, the governor doesn't particularly want new faces from outside.
I definitely understand that, but I promise you these can take care of themselves and keep themselves hidden as well.
Make a persuasion check.
And if I can, I would like to look at Lady Kathleen and kind of nod in that direction to demonstrate how they can make themselves unseen.
Resurrecting the investiture of the land around you, like Ilya, you feel that strange, like someone stepping on your grave sensation.
Can I get
Just see her visibly uncomfortable. Just.
You see, Azalea definitely does the same, but can I get a advantage for that as I not only explained it? Awesome, perfect. I definitely needed that because that first roll was a 10. There we go, 22.
Hey.
22, he goes, "Let him in. You could have hidden that fact from us and tried to sneak them in, but you didn't. Props for you."
People plea have been very good to me. I'm going to be good back.
She releases her hold on the investiture, and the party reappears. You're muted, buddy.
Am I?
Oh,
okay,
no, there you are.
smartly. Hello, excuse me. I was wondering, did a skeleton arrive yesterday by the name of Sam Grimm? It had a little sticky note on it, and it carried a letter in its ribcage informing you to bury it. Did this happen?
Yes, we did receive a ornate skeleton. We were under the impression that it was a member of the Grimm Hold and turned it away.
I understand entirely. Unfortunately, that was actually one of mine. It was, I managed to capture it of sorts from the Grimm Hold.
It's been walking into the wall in that passage down that way.
Sam!
You hear it. It looks like it's been trying to dig its own hole in the stone, and so the top digits have been kind of like broken away.
Oh, you're so stupid sometimes, I swear. Oh, man, you must not have been very bright in life, must you? Okay, he's gonna get out his little sewing kit, and from the spare arm, he's going to just rip off the old one and just... And he's gonna recast animate dead to keep it within his servitude.
Okay, so once you get to that part where you start kind of in detail looking at moving this about, you realize that the ornate carving might actually have some use magically. If you are able to replicate it in the pieces in the new pieces you're reattaching to it, the magical effect will still hold. You still don't know what it is though. The magical effect.
I'm gonna try and make it close as I can to the old one, just in case.
Let's. Are you using any particular tools, or would this be a sleight of hand?
Might I argue calligrapher's supplies?
You may. It is filigree, after all.
Thank you. And
you may also make an Arcana check to determine what kind of latent magic is going on here.
Okay, so to replicate it, I have rolled a 15 for the for the magical. I don't need this, but I got an at 20 plus 12 for a 32 on discovering the magic. So a 15 on the replication, a 32 on the knowing what it does.
Okay. There's two different tiers to turn undead. There's getting them to run away, and then there's just outright killing them. With the filigree, it is unaffected by the turning unless it is all the way up to the scale of destroying undead, and then it will turn instead and cannot be destroyed.
Okay, so
If that makes sense.
oh, Ilya, you're not going to like these ones, are you?
Anything
Seems
you
like-
do, I don't like, so you have to be a little more specific.
Oh,
than that.
this wasn't me. This is the Grimhold faction. Are there any clerics been present in the city of Plea, you called it?
The elf who's been kind of watching you goes, "There's one, but she's quite young and self-taught."
Well, when they eventually learn, well, first of all, this is Ilya, cleric, very annoyingly potent. But there's a little thing that clerics can do called turning undead. Destroys weak ones and scares the rest of them. These little markings on the Grimhold ones make them immune to the destruction factor.
Good to know.
Oh.
Good to know. Why don't you guys get inside? I want to close
Inside.
this gate. He's gonna lock it. Welcome to Plea.
Right.
There is a small pond, kind of a lake. Sorry, there's a body of water and it feeds into other parts of this mountain. So from here, it's kind of a pond. It's a smaller body of water, but it clearly is running out into other places. There is a long river to the backside of this village where there's bubbling in the water and steam rises up a chute. Audric, if you could. Well, never mind, Audric, you don't have that. My apologies. Let me just send it to the Discord real quick. My bad, Audric. My bad. Audric's probably over there like, oh, I don't have it. Let me drop it into the Discord. If you guys want to hit up the Discord, head over to the Bayonet channel and you'll see the map I'm using. Within this village, within this cavern is where the village of Plea. Maybe 50 to 80 people, not a lot of people. You can see a few like canoes that have tents on them that people are kind of staying in. They're kind of bound together. You see a couple of lean-tos against the cavern walls, but you've got the one big tower that's at the entrance of the village where the gate is. And that is made of stone. There is also a singular stone building in the center of town that a bridge leads to. It's warm in here. The what we're gonna call a hot bath or a spring bath. I forget what they're called. Hot spring. The hot spring on the far side of the village is kind of keeping this whole place very warm. And people kind of look at you as you enter, and there's a few people that quickly turn away and skitter off, and there's a few people who openly look at you guys, but due to the activity of the Sovereign and the Wraiths and stuff like that, people are nervous about newcomers from outside of Wolen. They don't want you guys to bring any trouble down upon them.
Yeah. I think Zeddy would definitely be like very warmly smiling at anyone who's watching.
Roll performance.
Almost like performance. Okay. A 6.
Okay. You make efforts to look at ease and go out of your way to soothe the mass of people. Looks a little forced though.
Yeah, I think it's again a case of even with the long rest, I haven't had like an actual rest in a home, and so I look ragged as I'm being like, hey, it's all fine, as I look beat up and the blood. Like,
You look ragged, and then there's
Yeah.
a skeleton of an enemy faction.
yeah. But I will, as we're walking, I will say, I understand that we're probably all tired and looking for a place to rest, but I think the first thing we need to do is speak to the governor. They need to know that we're here and actually give all of you permission to rest before we head up to Rillis.
Fair enough. Lead the way.
Will do.
Balin.
Governor Balin, you climb the steps up to around the tower and move across this bridge, and you can see some people kind of looking up at you from the canoes and like, who's got the highest passive perception? We've got a 14, we've got a 15, and a 9. Ilya, if you look at the picture, if you see in that kind of body of water in the southernmost part of the map, you see a tiny little rock half circle sticking out of the water. It's not huge, and it doesn't look to be of import to the people, but you sense a magical presence from that as you're crossing across this bridge. There's 2 guards at the end of the bridge who kind of look to you, step out of the way. One knocks for you, and you hear, "Come in." Party shuffles into this kind of cramped area, and you can see a desk, a big desk taking up the majority of this floor, and you can see a ladder going up to where a hammock kind of is strung out along the ceiling. A dwarf kind of looks up and goes, "Oh, welcome."
Hello. Is this Governor Balin?
Yes, Governor Balin. Azalea, it's been some time.
It's been a while. Yes, haven't needed to go through plea for a bit, but we had some other worlders appear. So
Yes,
let's
it
see if I can
seems
get into
that
Willis.
you've gathered quite a few of them.
Yes.
It's the
I'm
most we've
guessing
seen
you've
in some
seen.
time. At one time.
Trust me, what I saw is even more than just this.
Go on.
I saw an army
making
appear.
notes.
Yes, it had to have been what? And I think I would turn to Ilya. Hundreds? How much was your forces?
The exact number. I'm pretty sure you tallied it for insurance purposes.
Thousands
Well,
and
when I s-
thousands.
That was roughly, I had everyone insured for gold apiece. 50,000 gold, 50,000 people. That's how
It's a
much the lives were
staggering
worth.
number.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot
Thousands
of
upon thousands.
people. At
More
least,
than I've ever seen.
And the
At least for one day. Apparently there were more coming the next day.
and
the day
they're
after.
all
The
dead.
day after.
Pretty
Wow.
much, yes. I was only able to save these.
Not this marshal here. I slap Cameron on the back.
The Spectre dealt with everyone else.
You know what Cameron kind of under his breath leans over to the businessman. He goes, "You know, I really recently learned of a very effective method. And it's wait till someone's sleeping and then kill them. It's very effective."
Ilya owes me that death, and are you going to rob her of the satisfaction? From the looks of it, it won't be the
Damn,
first
he's
time
got
you're robbing a... From the looks of things, it doesn't look like the first time you'll be robbing a woman of satisfaction, but...
No.
Poor guy's a virgin.
He's taking a real deep breath, like, not in front of the governor.
The governor is just like looking at the
Still
lot of
baffled
you.
by the number.
Zayla just
Yeah.
is pinching the bridge of their nose, like, so
Can I-
can we rest here before heading up to Rilis?
He's gonna look at all of you. Of course you can. I would never turn a cold shoulder to the people you speak for, Azalea. He's mentioning the held breath without mentioning them.
Thank you. And I assure you they'll make sure they're not seen. They haven't been seen by the Spectre, but we'll keep that the case, especially here.
Hopefully they have the Spectre has more on their plate and a few people won't go awry.
From the sounds of things, I think they will be having a fairly steady flow of people. It seems like the army, or at the very least the leader of the army that came here, scheduled or planned for more to come over the next few weeks. So I imagine,
Good grief.
yeah, so I think I'll probably be rather busy seeing who I can save and who I can't.
You know, that sounds like a lot of useful resources that would be left to rot. The provisions that they
Yes.
bring with them and the like. There might be some use of that.
I
Thank
can
you for
speak
telling
with
me
some,
this.
I can speak with some of my people and see if we can have that be an additional goal. Save who we can, but bring as many provisions as we can as well.
You can leave it to us. We will see what we can find out there for ourselves. We are nothing if not self-sufficient.
Of course, but like I said, you've been good to me, so I want to be good back.
You may have you stay here. Don't be causing any trouble now, he says to the barbarian. The barbarian's
I
like, "Ugh," and he's gonna walk
I
out.
would look to the governor and be like, if I were you, I'd point that at him, and I'd turn to the businessman.
You gonna cause me any problems while you're here in my town?
I don't cause problems. I'm usually akin to solving them.
You seem like the type to provide the problem and then fix it.
Only if you're rich.
We're not rich here.
Well, then you should be safe.
Excellent. Just know we have plenty of eyes, keeping track of everybody, and word
course
gets
not.
around fast in a small town like this.
And if you ever need if your people get injured or whatever, perhaps too injured to carry on, I will be there to help them along.
Make an insight check. No, the whole party make an insight check.
Oh,
That is a 14.
A 14. Okay.
I run that one.
And you got nothing.
Azalea is so tired.
Yeah, I'm just exhausted. Like, God.
They need a nap.
25.
25.
I got a +9.
Oh yeah.
Wow, okay. Excellent. You notice that he perks up a little bit at this, but he keeps it, he's quiet about it. There's just a little bit of a lean forward, you know what I mean, at those words. But he's
something that probably the businessman and Elia would have as almost like an insider thing. She would tilt her hat till it like touches him a certain way. Because of it being like ethereal and it kind of blends through, like people wouldn't notice it like touching. It just looked like she moved her head. But
There's
you
a-
would know that
right in your ear.
he just because though they don't like each other very much, they still have to work with each other constantly. So they have like little things in the back of their heads of like ways to help each other if they're both in certain
In the trenches
situations.
together.
Yeah.
Look, if you are finding yourself under assault frequently, you have soldiers, I'm assuming, and ways to keep them upstanding?
Yes. We have a few soldiers, mostly a peasant militia, unfortunately.
Peasants are always, unfortunately, very killable. Can't
Indeed.
promise we could. It's hard to protect that many lives, isn't it?
We've had someone go mad recently,
Oh.
and we
Did
can't.
you notice the businessman is noticeably disappointed? He's like, "Oh, I was hoping for an injury."
Well- Without going into too much detail, we believe him to be of some danger to our people, and we're not sure what happened, but he lost his marbles, and he's been kind of plaguing us. So if you're,
put to rest.
yeah, my thoughts exactly, but maybe somewhat discreetly. His family
I
lives
would-
here, but
I would like to, at the very least, see this person, speak to them.
well, we can't find him. He's been kind of waiting to strike when we least expect it. He's been sneaking into the town and causing problems, and the family is, of course, destroyed by this. They hate to see it. They don't know how to fix it. We can't even catch him. But we're at the point where he started enough fires that we need to deal with him. His name
This
is...
a member of your peasant militia gone mad.
His name is Hatch, and he was a local witch.
I met Hatch.
Oh, and you lived?
Yes. We had a rather strange but pleasant conversation.
Well, that doesn't carry with anything we've seen.
I
He was the
showed no
local
ill
he was the
intent.
local wise man, if you will, and he just went off his rocker. And
He definitely seems unwell, but it didn't seem dangerous to me.
he's been killing people. He's been sneaking in and burning places, stabbing people, and at one point we caught him. We managed to stop him from poisoning our water supplies.
Are you sure? I'm going to raise my hands here and say, if this is in fact the person you spoke to, if I remember correctly, Azalea, you
Yes.
said they were a witch.
Yes.
Does that track with what Hatch was capable of previously?
Yes, he was a wise man. Medicines and herbs and healings and
Which
some
is just a
arcane
colloquial
prowess.
term for it, but yes.
Some arcane prowess. I don't know off the top of my head, but we called him Old Mad Hatch, and some people believe we accidentally manifested that. But he was always kooky. But
There's not a chance we have a duplicate on our hands. Someone with an illusion, magic,
it's possible.
disguised faces. It's usually the case when perceptions don't match with behavior. It's easy to do. It's a common scam. Usually you go in, you disguise yourself. And the businessman begins describing this almost like he's done it before. You go in, you change your face to look like somebody very high up in the social ladder. You start throwing drinks at people, tossing, I don't know, food everywhere, flip out. They try to kill you, and in the last moment, you swap places. We're there, you will assassinate them and take them and charge $50,000. But the point being,
In theory.
in theory, it doesn't sound like you're dealing with the same person. And if you are dealing with the same person, there is something wrong with them outside of a mental stab. Especially if they're delving in the arcane. Possession is a more likely candidate than insanity.
Well,
Which is most disappointing because that means their soul does not belong to them, meaning that they can't become a ghost.
I don't know about any of that. The family might be able to give more insight on that, but I'd be happy to make it worth your while. He says to all of you, but I know that you have places to go and places to be. But if you find yourself looking for work or feeling like giving a helping hand, it would go a long way towards helping us sleep better tonight.
I am more than happy to stay and help, but I am not alone. At least not at the moment, so.
And I know you have much to do. There's a larger scope that your folk tend to.
Well, getting a lay of the land is usually important when it comes to setting oneself up for business. I'll be happy to make a good name for myself then.
Couldn't hurt. If there's anything else you need, you know where to find me.
Thank you, Governor Baylor.
Sleep well.
And I'll lead everyone out of this building and find a place to stay.
Yeah. There's not an inn per se here, but there is a place that visitors can kind of grab a corner.
Yeah.
Kind of a large tent, like a pavilion.
Imagine I frequent here whenever I'm passing through, please.
Yeah. Moving through the town, you see a few people still kind of looking at you warily. A couple of people just straight up turning and getting, just leaving to stay away from you guys to avoid bad luck. And you step into this pavilion.
what's the local cuisine like here?
Oh, it's fairly diverse, very meat based, at least at the moment. It's a little bit easier right now with the current season to handle livestock than grow any wheat or flora. I suppose the cheapest thing you can get, I didn't bring money with me, because I'll be honest, I didn't go out expecting to bring anyone back with me. So probably, I believe they were called hamburgers.
That sounds amazing. What I really need to know, specifically, have potatoes gotten here yet?
Have potatoes going here? Do we have potatoes? I can't remember. if we
Have
said we had-
potatoes. Has
we-
our boy, beautiful Melly,
Oh my
Mary,
god, no.
brought potatoes?
I didn't think of that. We don't have potatoes here. Which means we don't have vodka?
No, Mary hasn't brought potatoes.
Mary hasn't
Potatoes.
existed yet.
Is that a type of cheese?
Oh no, this isn't cheese. This is a delightful little vegetable. It's a tuber that grows underground, and then you can literally do whatever you want to it, and it's delicious. You can
Potatoes
bake
would do wonders here.
Does it? Do they
because can survive
scream?
anywhere.
We have like scream. They're these kind of root vegetable that if you pull them, they will
Mandrakes.
scream. Yeah. Oh, you have them over there as well.
No wonder you have witches. Those basically attract them. No, no, not like that at all. They just grow, and then you eat them, and you can fry
Elia
them.
immediately
like-
starts
they're like
praying
a
in the
root.
corner. Just like, if I have ever asked you for anything ever in my lifetime, please bring me potatoes, please.
Well, hang on now. You don't know about potatoes.
Well, no, I would have heard
Well,
it.
no,
from
yeah, you would have
Miriam.
heard of it. Hang on. This is a conundrum. I gotta. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
She
So-
knows of potatoes, but she's never
Yeah.
had potatoes.
Never had. Okay. Yeah.
Apparently, they're magical. They grow anywhere.
I'll say
They
that you
just do
guys
things.
do have had potatoes before.
Okay.
Okay.
Not you, Azalea. Get wrecked.
Okay.
But
Businessman owes me a favor because I had him try potatoes once.
roll a D100, Lexi.
Yes.
Are you about to use
forcing
like
lore
divine
into
intervention
Feff's
to
world.
bring potatoes?
Divine
in?
intervention. Potatoes.
I got a 6.
Out of 100?
A 00 and a 6.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
right.
potato for you.
No potato.
Create food and water. Wait. We can do this with create food and water.
Oh my god, yeah, you
Oh
could.
my god.
Wait, we can do it. It spoils if uneaten after 24 hours, though. How can potatoes?
So you
spoil,
couldn't
though?
plant it.
Right? Potatoes don't spoil.
They grow little bits.
They grow eyes.
Yeah, they grow.
Yeah.
They do what they're supposed to do.
Only magic can make potatoes spoil. I think that's the explanation. Yeah.
They literally.
Yeah, Azalea,
enrot-
you're getting a bunch of different information about this potato.
Okay, wait. Okay, so potatoes aren't cheese.
They're not.
But
They
they're-
are a vegetable. Yeah,
They're
vegetable.
vegetable.
You do
Okay.
have
They can
vegetables.
grow anywhere.
So,
they're
as
very
a-
sturdy.
I want to loop back actually. So cheese isn't a vegetable. You didn't
No,
explain
cheese-
to me how cheese. Okay.
Okay, let me
Okay.
explain to you how cheese works, and you're going to be a little bit upset. Okay.
Okay.
There is this. There's this. So do you have? You say you have meat. So you have cows. Yes.
Yeah, we
You
have cows.
mammals. Okay. So you
Yes.
get milk, right?
Okay. Does it matter
Storage
from
it-
what kind of? Because we have a bunch of creatures that produce milk. Does it matter which? Is it specifically cows?
Any of the milk producing
Technically,
creatures
any
can make
creature that
cheese.
produces milk, but like
Some of
it's
them-
just preferred with goats and cows and
Yeah. Goats and
Okay.
cows are the preference. If you do it with other creatures, it starts getting weird. But if you get the cows and you put the milk in a cave for long enough, and if you store it under the right conditions, you know how it curdles, right? And that sounds disgusting. It rots, right? No,
Yeah.
it doesn't. If under the right temperature and humidity, it curdles into this delightful sour texture called cheese. And they can make different kinds, and then you can season them and store them under different ways. And oh, it's a marvelous little process. If you do it another way, though, you can also make penicillin, which is a wonderful antibacterial drug.
Yes.
we have penicillin, but not potatoes. This is hilarious. This is hilarious. I love
What came
this.
first, potatoes or penicillin?
I believe they were trying to make one, and then they found the other. I'm not sure the direction.
Penicillin's
Okay.
about to put me out of business, bro.
And it's about to put me in business.
I'll kill you.
So, okay. You know, this sounds like a much better business practice than your insurance.
You know what? Can we put our differences aside to bring potatoes here?
Look, I've tried it. If we can, I'll have more potatoes then than I've ever had in my life, and I'm still okay. You're the one with the godly powers. I'm the one with the wizard nonsense, as you put it. You need to figure it out. I can't make food. I can't make water. I make skeletons. And also death. And
Yeah, and fire. And ice and just damage.
I'll
Can I
think
do an
about
Arcana
it.
check to see if he even heard me of begging for potatoes?
You can make a religion check.
You are, babe, you are a level 10 cleric. You can do divine intervention for this.
You could have divine intervention potatoes into this world.
What do I roll for a
let me see,
divine
let me see.
intervention?
Let's see.
Or is that level 11? Is that level 11? Wait a minute.
You better double check this shit. The potatoes are on the line.
Divine intervention.
I think it's level 11.
Ah, damn.
Wait, no, divine intervention.
Beginning at 10th level, you can call on your deity to
Right,
intervene on your
level.
behalf when your need is great. Imploring your deity's aid requires you to use your action, describe the assistance you seek, and roll a percentile die. If you roll a number equal to or lower than your cleric level, your deity intervenes. The
that's
DM
something
chooses.
That's
lower than
5e
a 10?
divine intervention. It's different in new divine. It's
In
different
the
in
new divine
PHP.
intervention, yeah.
Gosh.
It's
The
different.
new one is as a magic action, you can cast any cleric spell of 5th level or lower that doesn't require a reaction to cast without expending a spell slot or needing material components. Can't use this feature again until you finish a long rest.
Yeah, they changed it
However,
to
wait a minute. We're cooking. Hallow. Hallow exists.
Nice. I don't know if y'all can see that. I rolled a 1.
Oh my god.
It wants it so bad.
That's
Wait a
a
minute.
1. Is that a 1?
Is it 2 zeros and a 1?
That's
Yeah!
That's a 1.
Hold on, let me put the light on this bitch.
Wait, is that a 100?
No, it's a 1.
Nah,
A 100 would be a...
Straight zeros.
Yeah, it'd be 3
Well, no.
zeros.
Yeah,
It'd
it would be 3 zeros. It'd be 3.
Yeah, it'd be 3
right,
zeros.
okay.
2
3
zeros,
zeros
on the
for 100.
percentile.
I rolled 100 once, but I was awful because this was in a Call of Cthulhu campaign.
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
I
time to roll
immediately
100.
went crazy and died.
All right, so your divine intervention. Offbeat, walk me through this. Sorry. I
Well,
don't.
that's with old divine intervention. That's not in the new game.
Okay, let's do the old way then, for fun.
Okay, so the new way is you make a plea to your god, and you go, "Pretty please help me." It kind of works like Wish, where there's a standard use and then the non-standard use. The standard use is it creates any effect of a cleric spell. The non-standard use is to kind of DM, I'm asking for a gift from my god, may I receive it?
Yep.
Sort of thing. So if
The receiving part can be on Fef's like discretion. It's more so I definitely just want him to hear this. Whether it's something he would actually do.
you
is a
did
different
divine
story.
intervention for please potato.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So you,
And rolled
It's
a
just
1.
like-
we're ins it to wins it.
Like, I know I don't ask for much with you, Void Father. But please, may I please have about a ton of potatoes?
there's a moment where nothing happens, and you, right as you go, you start hearing people go, "Oh, whoa, hey!" outside, and out in the hot spring. It's just filling with potatoes. And the people are getting out, they're like, "Ah!"
Everyone, calm down! The businessman's going to sprint over. Sam Grim, grab a bucket.
Quick, we need
is
these right now.
happening? Where's the water? What's happening to the water?
God has listened, and we will answer. The businessman is going to reach down into the bucket.
I asked for a finite amount, so this will be this won't be a permanent problem. Don't worry, we just have to get it all out.
The people of
Everyone!
Please start kind of like gathering around nervously.
Everyone, this is a potato.
Where are your farmers?
Where are your farmers and those capable of making produce?
There's a few people that step forward.
You specifically. Come
All right, farmers, come here. This is going to be a very useful plant. It is a root. You know what to do with roots? You plant them in the ground.
It's like carrots.
Sustain them, farm them, bring them up. So you plant some more. Potatoes,
You chop them, boil them, stick them in a stew.
you can fry them with oil. You can do anything with them. Tasting them right now, they'll taste a lot like dirt. But if you cook them, they take on any flavor that you wish. They are filled with starch. They are filled with things that can help keep you up and sustained. You can literally have a whole diet based on these things.
You have forever changed the direction of the village of Plea.
And I will say this much. If you sell them, you will make a profit. If this is the only thing you have. People want these. You can make alcohol with this if you ferment it.
Everyone goes,
vodka.
I think even Azalea's like, oh, okay. Second wine. Well, yes.
Now, you plant them, take care of them, and they will be your friend. We are going to take this bucket, and we are going to teach you how to cook them. Where are your chefs?
I feel like everybody just knows how to cook.
yeah, it's,
We
like,
have
it's
chefs, we
every
just cook
household
by
leader
ourselves.
kind of like.
Chefs are more for the rich folk, businessmen. Everyone needs to know how to cook their own meals in their own
Yes.
houses.
The only people I like in those rich people houses are the personal chefs. They have all the good stories and cigarettes. He's going to
You don't
he's
even
gonna,
smoke!
I don't, but I like the smell. He's going to put it down. He's going to put... All right. I'm going to take a knife, and he's going to... Not very well, but he's going to, sort of, just, we're going to make something called fries. All right?
You use the hot
Fries.
bath, the hot spring.
Chop. Well, that would just boil... That just make
That would
boiled
boil it,
potatoes.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
no, how to cook. But
He's gonna take it. He's gonna get a pan and any oils, olive oil,
I was thinking we'd
cedar
have-
oil, seed
Would we have
oils.
olive
Expecting
seed oil?
olive oil here?
some people
Oh, they
do
got-
come forward with some base oils.
He's gonna do it. He's gonna
Cooking oil.
place
More
it
likely
there.
to
He's gonna
bake
you
it
get,
in lard.
you get butter. I think would be more.
You get
likely.
lard. You get animal
Hey, butter,
fat.
that works. He's gonna put it in there, and he's gonna get a pan, and cast create bonfire underneath it, and he's just gonna concentrate it and start
I
cooking.
love that this just turned into a cooking series.
This became delicious in dungeon. This was dungeon.
Delicious
We're in the dungeon. Yeah.
Let's go!
And he's gonna once they're done, he's gonna he's gonna mage hand them out, shake them off, and then he's gonna put them on a plate. Try them.
One kind of larger, older lady kind of comes forward and goes, "Well, just gonna try it and go."
Right?
Shit. It's pretty good.
And they grow anywhere, anytime. This is perfect for the deep winters when anything else won't grow. This will be your survival.
They rejoice. The people move forward, start trying it, and she starts feeding it to her kids, and they start eating it, and they're all kind of looking at you, and the whole vibe of the town pivots. You are now welcome here, almost wholesale. There are a few people who kind of still look at you suspiciously, but for the most part, you are welcomed. And even
Azalea, hide some potatoes in your pocket. Businessman, do you have a bag of holding of any kind?
I don't have my bag of holding. This is supposed to be a quick trip.
Pierce, do you have a bag of holding? Does Pierce have a bag of holding?
Atticus does.
Atticus, put as many will fit in there, please. As many we can legally fit in a bag of holding.
Legally.
The thriving city will have many people, and many people will have.
Now
many
we've done
shops.
something nice, and you're ruining it.
Even the governor Balin comes over and goes, "Well, thank you very much. This was quite lovely."
Right?
This
Azalea
is fantastic.
Something so nice. It just
Good,
pats
thank you.
Azalea forward, just like.
Oh, yeah, it was our. It's only not good at lying, just fully put on the front. It was our pleasure. Yeah, I'm glad that we could help with the food situation.
Food from the outside.
We don't get much.
Strange times.
Things are going to be swinging for the better.
We need that. That'd be nice. Okay. All right.
Potatoes!
Rounding out the episode, the session, is there anything else you guys want to do in this town before we call it for the night?
Business manager's just gonna be eating and is gonna pull Ilya and Azalea aside and go. Now with this place thriving, see all the good that we're doing?
I feel like there's something coming after this. What are you going to say?
I am just reminding you. I know that you don't like me, and this isn't my intention to change that fact. This is, however, to show you that maybe there's always good with bad. We arrived, I'm not a good person. I did this because, look, now there's more people to become skeletons, because they'll thrive, and they'll have high cholesterol. But
New title: The Good, the Bad, the Potato.
my point is that I don't want you worrying that I am going to be secretly undermining you and your goals. I think our goals run parallel. I think my methods are looked down upon. But I don't want us to be enemies.
I appreciate that. And I will say, even though I have given you a hard time, I don't consider you an enemy. If I did, you would not be standing here right now.
I'd be standing here with more skeletons, frankly. But I understand.
I do appreciate what you've done.
Hopefully these potatoes grow. That's the only real thing.
A small,
Grown in the most harshest conditions. I think they would even exist here if it's just barren dirt to throw them in. Grown in nothing.
a small little tug on your hair, Ilya. You look down and there's a little gnome girl looking up at you with big eyes and goes,
Hi.
Hi.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm Eve.
Hi.
It's short for Evelyn. And,
Lovely name.
I heard that you're holy. I'm holy.
Are you the
Yeah.
little cleric I've heard of?
you're looking at a little level 1 cleric. And she's just looking up at you with huge eyes.
Do I know of Eve?
No, you've not met. But you're meeting her now.
Me and her now, yeah.
Do you think you could teach me a few things?
Absolutely. Just goes
Okay.
into her star on her chest.
Oh my
and
God.
pulls out.
Do I have to do that?
No. That's it's a bit more specific to me and who I get my abilities from. Does
Do you
your
worship?
person have a name?
I don't know.
They haven't
this
talked to
is-
you yet.
Very strange.
What's it look like? Do a little. You just sprinkle some presties, just a little something to show what it looks like when you cast.
Toll of the Dead.
I know that one.
I know that one. Shut up.
Bong, and you hear her mom. Evie, what did we say about Toll in the Dead?
Sorry, Mom.
Oh, I'm
What did it
familiar
look
with
like?
this.
Like aesthetic wise?
Aesthetically, there is this kind of shimmering iridescence, almost like the night sky lights. What are those called? The
Northern lights?
Yeah, like the northern lights, the aurora borealis. There's kind of a aurora borealis that whips, and it resonates in this chime, more of a bell, really. But boom.
Would it be like an arcana check for me to try to figure out who her god might be? Based
You've
off
never seen anything like this.
Never?
Because where you come from, there's 12 gods. There's the 12 aspects of sentience, and none of them look like that.
So I just want to clarify, because I'm going to make sure I'm not mixing things up. I remember you told me that clerics, are there no clerics here, or is it that
There's no
clerics from
druids
other
here.
worlds? Okay, so there are clerics here, it's just clerics from other worlds tend to lose their abilities when they come.
Correct.
Yeah.
They
cool.
so they have their to clarify, they have their abilities, they just don't feel like God is
Just
there anymore,
they
can
don't-
see
yes,
them
that's it.
anymore.
Okay.
The potatoes are proof that he listens!
The void
Okay.
seems to be breaking some rules.
Yeah. That's very interesting. Yeah. So I just witnessed that.
Just witnessed a god listening.
Yeah.
From the
I think
outside.
this entire time, Azalea's been very quiet and is, I think, closely watching Ilya, especially while interacting with this young Eve.
So yeah, that's what I can do. I've got a few other things I can do, other cantrips and the like.
It seems that they don't realize they have leveled spells, and they've never even thought to like flex that muscle, if you will. Completely self-taught, kind of is just accidentally discovering this power that they have.
Let's try some basics. We'll try right from the original textbooks.
Okay.
You're going to put your hand on the businessman.
Looks up at the businessman.
He extends a hand down.
His bark is worse than his bite, I promise.
Grabs a finger.
And if something goes wrong, at least it's him and not Azalea. Anyways.
Grabs a pinky.
And you're going to say something. What is something that you say when you want someone to feel better?
It ain't that bad. It's gonna be better soon. I promise.
And at the promise, what spell are you guiding them upon?
Trying to do healing word.
Yeah, the promise and some healing. You see that kind of aurora borealis kind of on the mantle of the businessman's shoulders for a brief second before it settles in, and you get a little bit of healing. She goes,
Right?
"Thank you." Hug.
And now the good news about you knowing a leveled spell is that you can charge 50 gold per leveled spell. This
Okay, let's
Teaching her capitalism!
bad habits into the young girl here. And
it's just good.
watching this, can I gauge what deity, what being this magic seems to be coming from?
You can make a religion check or a history check,
I
but
think
the
they're
history
both
is going to
the
be much harder.
Okay. I think I'm just trying to identify the deity, nothing like about them really. So I'll go for religion.
Okay.
So 15.
15. You vaguely recall, you don't got a name, a goddess that is of the tundra, of the frozen night sky. There was a far-off land, and she was reborn in some way. It's very convoluted. You don't really know anything about it, but their calling card was the Aurora Borealis. And Offbeat, you might recognize this from Kiel.
I do. I remember it all the way back then. Lady Quintessence.
Do I know
Would the
if-
businessman, though, have any recollection of this as well? Okay.
Do I know, is this goddess like active in, or rather were they once active in this demiplane, or just a thing
Not to your
from
knowledge.
outside demiplane? Okay, so that's still interesting that a potential god from outside the demiplane has made a cleric within it. Interesting. Okay.
Without any
I'm-
like direct connection or communication.
Yeah. I'll crouch down in front of Eve. What you have is very, very special.
Okay.
Be sure to use it wisely and kindly, okay?
Okay. Thanks. Are you Azalea?
Yes, I am.
People talk about you.
I hope good things.
Mostly that you're very attractive.
Oh.
but that you're also very powerful, and smart, and you do secret stuff.
Well, how about I tell you a secret and you keep it safe for me, okay?
Okay, I can do that.
And I will crouch down and what's a fun little secret? That won't hurt this child. Oh, so no, the horrors of the outside world. No. I think. Oh, actually, I don't think it'll be a secret. I think it'll be an item. I will pull out this small like trinket. It looks like a carving of an owl with what looks like abyssal writing etched into the back of it. And it's not a magical item. The abyssal isn't even anything significant. I think it literally just says owl in abyssal on the back of it. And I'll just say, this was one of the items I found when another otherworlder appeared here.
Whoa.
Keep this safe.
Okay.
And when I come back sometime soon to plea, just show it to me so I know that you kept it safe, okay?
I'll keep it secret.
Perfect.
Thanks. Okay. I gotta go eat dinner.
Before she runs away, she's gonna pull out of her hat a tiny book about this big, very old and beaten. Like, this is something that I had when I was first learning to use magic. It's very basic. Everything will be different once you finally commune with your god, but this will still teach you very important things that you should know well before you meet them. I want you to look at this one called Shield.
Okay.
That. And then just gives her essentially what was an old notebook from when she was like a teenager of learning magic. Just very basic rudimentary stuff.
Okay.
But stuff that this level 1 should probably know.
yeah. Wow. Thank you.
Learn quickly. We'll be back soon.
Okay. Okay, I will.
Book in hand and owl figurine in the other. It's Christmas for Eve.
What's Christmas? I don't know.
Yeah, good point.
Like I
Hogwash.
said, a person called Jesus Christ appeared in
Oh
Lord.
God.
He came here once.
Came here once, taught us about Easter, the holy bread.
Told us to eat their flesh and blood. It was a little
It was a weird
confusing.
thing, huh?
Honestly, wasn't that weird compared to the things we've seen?
You know what? You're so right.
Honestly, very tame.
I am not canonizing Jesus Christ in this horror campaign.
Yay!
Oh my God! Someone posted a meme in the Discord.
Already?
The Bayonet Discord about potatoes.
Yes!
Yay.
Where's the fucking soil?
Oh my
It's
god.
terrifying, actually. Okay, is there anything else you would like to attend to?
I think you just hear Azalea kind of mutter to themselves, being like, "You find me attractive? Okay." So surprised at that, weirdly enough. But, yeah.
You say that, and Lady Kathleen goes,
What?
"You're quite handsome, dear."
Thank you. I think there's definitely like, I don't know, you can't see them blush, but I think that the perpetual tears do. There's a little iridescent glimmer that goes across them.
A soft glow.
Businessman thinks to himself, good bone structure.
Oh my god! If anyone else said it, like you have such a like really good bone structure, really good cheeks, everyone would be like, "Oh,
cheekbones.
thank you." And if his
Businessman's
businessman
like-
You have symmetrical bone structure. If I cut you with a cleaver inside from Heather's.
made it sound different.
All right, well, I think that's gonna wrap up tonight's episode. Chat, thank you so much for being here. If you've enjoyed any of this, head over to the YouTube long shot and catch up on the previous episodes. Andy Skadoosh, aka Valve, will be back with us soon. Don't worry. Don't go anywhere just yet. We're gonna do a raid. Helps us a ton. Helps the people we raid a ton. So please stick around for that. I am SirFeffers, the
Counts
humble
towards,
dungeon master.
Partner now.
That's true. That's
So
true.
raid your friends if you're
That's
trying to
true,
build towards
yeah.
partner. Like, get all rising tides bring up all ships, right? You know,
There we
help
go.
all your buddies.
Yeah, stronger together. Same team.
And of course, hit up the Discord if you would like to get in on our fan-run bingo, as well as join our community. We have memes. We are as chaotic as we are wholesome. Heinefall's coming up, a 5-day LARP event that I'll be going to with some other amazing creators such as Quincy and Crown, who is on the Terraform campaign, and some other amazing people like Box Gnome. There's a lot of amazing stuff. There's still some tickets available, and it's I don't want to jinx it, but we're projecting to become this year, our third year of Heinefall, to become the biggest LARP in the States. Which is wild, because I got to be on the ground floor, and we hit the ground running with like 200, 300 people on the first year, and we've been growing exponentially. It's been amazing, and I hope to see some of you guys there. For now, let's get to the cast. Drakoniques, would you like to kick us off?
Yeah, hi. I've been Drak or Drakoniques, and I've also been Azalea for you. You can find me on all socials at Drakoniques. That's Drakoniques. I do all things TTRPG related, so that's writing, producing, performing, everything and anything I am doing or will be doing in the near future. The only thing I will shout out is that next week over My First Dungeon on all podcast services, I'll be in a Paint the Town Red campaign, where we're playing a bunch of vampires in literally the days before the Great Depression in New York. So you want to check that out. I'm playing Cain of the Cain and Abel story. So you can check that out on all podcast services starting next week, Thursday, and it'll be releasing weekly after that. But yeah, that's me.
Pass it off. So, now tell us about Azalea and thoughts that's going on there.
I think Azalea is a very business-oriented person, so has never really thought about themselves as a physical person. Like, they're very much like, I exist and I exist to do a job. So having it being pointed out that people talk about him, and not just talk about him but say that he's attractive, it's been like a really weird, like, oh, I'm now aware that I'm a physical being and people are perceiving me.
Oh, I'm corporeal. God.
So that's kind of where Azalea is right now.
Okay. And pass it off to someone else.
Oh, sorry. I'll pass it off to Lexi.
Hello, I'm SmolbirdLex. You can find me at SmolbirdLex. I do art, TTRPG, streaming, and VTubing. And when I am back from this medical hiatus, you won't even see me coming in the shadows. I'm playing Elia, who is our Void Cleric. Heart of Gold, I swear. 9.5 times out of 10, she's an absolute sweetheart and loves to help people. It's just the businessman has this very specific place in her heart and brain. And she's very happy to see another young cleric and like protect Bean at all costs. Wants to give her all the things and items and stuff, but it's like, you know, gotta also learn on your own. You can't just be gifted every single, you know, like I can't just suddenly give her gauntlets or something. Like,
can you imagine?
So cool. Here's some gauntlets of ogre strength. Have fun.
That kid
Go and break buildings.
Terrorizes the town. Learns a lot of harsh lessons, maybe.
Yeah, I'll pass it over to Offbeat.
Hello, my name is Offbeat Outlaw. You can find me on YouTube and TikTok under that exact same name, and Twitch. I stream on Twitch Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and sometimes Friday. I have been playing the businessman, who I am loving playing this character. He is so fun. He is so silly. He is such a goofy guy, and I just being able to make the weirdest comments about bones and being like, and the worst ways to make money ever. Word of warning, do not replicate the businessman's actions. The actions are of a strictly lawful evil character.
These are fictitious.
Yeah, you are a bad person if you want to be like this guy. He's funny. Don't be like him. Be better.
Our red flags are fictional. We don't do this in real life.
Exactly.
And it is very fun though to play this character, especially he is currently smelling opportunity in this pain, because he smells a place that is like, oh, this place, they actually need me. This isn't just me trying to convince people that I'm useful. They are dying and they can't all be saved, but they should still be used this is I don't have to be a bad guy. Maybe I'm not the bad guy.
Me? Am I the drama? I don't think I'm the drama.
He's like,
I'm a
he
villain.
sees himself for the first time fitting into a weird spot of like, I might be able to fit in here in a weird way and not be removed from society because of
Moral
the
quandary.
skeletons.
Well, it's interesting because you're evil, but like there's a lot worse evil here. You know what I mean?
He's like,
Yeah.
I'm not the worst person here. This is weird. I'm not. Usually, I'm the one terrorizing the villages and the towns and stuff. This is a weird shift. It's a spectrum of morality here, and so he's in this like position of like, look, all I care about is the money and the profit and the power. So I could actually work here as long as the morals are kept in check.
I'm just picturing the businessman like dancing in the meadows, you know, just like I found my home.
But the meadows are like deeply dark and grim. There are like terrifying things crawling around in the forest.
All right, gang.
But that's businessman.
Pile into this raid. We're gonna kick it with Versachiko, who's playing Dragon Age Inquisition. Fantastic bean. Go show them some love and have yourself a phenomenal rest of your weekend, my friends. Goodbye.
Bye.
That's not everybody. Everyone pile into the raid. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you
guys?
doing? There we go.